Today's job is creaky floorboards. So we've got creaks here, possibly going underneath the wall there, a creaky landing, and big creaks here as well, possibly due to some piping being put in for that new radiator over there. Also this door also needs trimming to size. So that's the carpet up. You can see here where the floorboard's been lifted to run pipes through to the other room. Found some wedges in this corner and some pieces of wood. So what I'm doing now is lifting the carpet gripper to actually put a more permanent solution in there. So that's the floorboards up. You can see the new routing of the pipes. I can actually see the old pipes here as well. And what you can see is that creaking is definitely coming from inside there. So the plot's thickening on the other side. We can see when I've lifted this part up, when it's been installed, they've not cut along the beams here, and so this part's been floating, and there's some temporary timber put in here. I'm also going to put one over here though for that to rest on, and there's a lot of creaking coming from this corner, a little bit of interface between here. So what I'm going to do is hopefully use some packing and some screws to stop the noise that's coming from this part. Moving into this room to deal with this creak, I want to show you why, if you don't know what you're doing, get a professional in. So I've used a track saw going down a couple of millimeters at a time to remove this piece of flooring. And look at that, if I'd have gone any more than a millimeter at a time, you can say I've even left myself like a millimeter. If I'd have gone any further or just gone straight in with a multi-tool, I could have hit any of these like 22mm or 15mm water pipes. So if you don't know what you're doing, get someone in to help. Having tried bracing this underneath to no avail, with the customer's permission, it's now time for the skirting board to come off to see if we can find any culprits that are underneath the wall. You won't be able to see particularly well, but there is a nail in there, and it's a nail, not a screw, which I think is allowing the wood to move up and down on the nail rather than keep it in place. We can also see the bottom here of the stud wall, only a fraction off, but I can't see any other screws working its way along, so it's floating a tiny bit, but the other room was terrible. It was about that far off the floor. So I think what we can try here is a combination of fixing this down using screws, so through the two together, and using some expanding glue as well. So with the plasterboard just removed at the bottom, one screw going in down through this, attaching into the timber beneath, and lo and behold, not a peep. Little creak up here, so I'll be putting in another one there. Here we go, job finished. As you can see, that's all the creaks massively reduced. Coming in here, the creaks have almost vanished. They were the worst ones, and the door now opens and closes nice and freely, which in the case for this customer means a happy wife and a happy life.